Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. So we're going to do our May Inspire, Create, Snap, and Chat. This project is going to be a flip book that I came up with. Um, if you guys did not have a chance to see April's Inspire, Create, Snap, and Chat, definitely go to my page on Coffee, Cake, and Crafting on Facebook and check it out. Basically, Inspire, Create, Snap, and Chat was created because we all want to swap, but unfortunately, posters went up and it just got pretty expensive. So we're just taking a break from mailing swaps and we're just going to challenge ourselves. Or if you want to swap your project, you can contact the other people that participated and you guys can swap amongst yourselves, um, via private message or whatever. So the first one, I literally made while I was on camera. I just had some scrap chipboard on my desk and we went for it. Um, Everyone's was different and they were absolutely amazing. Like, you guys have to check out the April Inspire, Create, Snap, and Chat, and it was gorgeous. You took the bones of what I said, you were inspired by what I created, and you created your own and you made your own magical unicorn. So I was just really proud of that and proud of everyone who participated. And, challenge yourself. There's no right or wrong answer. There's really no rules to it. Take the bones and go for it. So that's where the inspired part comes from. I want you to be inspired by things that I make because I'm inspired by things that you make and things that I watch on YouTube and things I see in town or, whatever. So I want you to create something that you're inspired by. That's the Inspire Create. I want you to make it completely your own. So I don't show my final project until the time has elapsed, except for this time I'll probably show it early because this is for a swap. So if you watch my videos, you'll probably see it before. Um, but, next I want you to snap. So I want you to take pictures of what you do, and I want you to really utilize your social media. Post it on your Facebook page, post it on my Facebook page, Coffee, Cake, and Crafting. Post it on your blog, your vlog, your Instagram, your Twitter, whatever you have, your Facebook, your YouTube. Really talk yourself up. If you have been worried about jumping into YouTube videos, jump in, because you know what? Nobody has to see your face. Like, you can totally, do the video like this where you get a my setup. Okay, my setup's a little ghetto, but I have um what do you call this? A webcam, and it's actually sitting on one of those deck bird feeder shepherd's hook. So it's and every time my husband comes in here, he laughs at me, but hey, it works because I didn't know how else to mount a camera that is above me. So it is on a shepherd's hook, the ones that you can put on your deck, and it has like a little screw thing on the bottom. I'll take pictures of it and you guys can see how it's done. But I just literally tied the web camera on the shepherd's hook with a piece of ribbon, and that's it. So, and I'm just using my laptop. So it doesn't have to be anything fancy. You don't have to go out and spend money. My shepherd's hook cost me, I think, like less than $8, because I was gonna buy the GoPro one, and that thing was like $100. But the same exact thing on this little shepherd's hook, it was $8 at Walmart. And then my webcam, I think, was like $29.99, something like that. So, and I just hooked it up to my laptop. So that's how I did it. So you don't need to do anything elaborate. If your cell phone has a camera, you just take your cell phone and you prop it up on something like this. It's a cell phone holder I got at Walmart for, I think, like $2, and I just turn it sideways and prop my phone up like so. Well, without the case, because my case is super heavy because I'm really rough on my cell phone. And that's how I started. I propped my cell phone up like that. So whatever works, use it. You know, that's the snap part. So take pictures, take videos, show off what you made. Again, there's no right or wrong. And then chat. I want you to chat yourself up. I want you to be your own cheerleader. Be proud of what you do. We all had to start somewhere. And on one of these videos, I showed where I started, and it wasn't the best because I was a beginner. And some stuff I do now, that's why I like to do these challenges, because I like to challenge myself and get out of my comfort zone, because I can sit here all day long and make the same interactive mini album with the same flaps and the same flips. And but you know what? It gets boring after a while. The matting, I've done different styles other than my favorite clean and simple. I've done shabby chic. I've done vintage. I've done everything in the kitchen sink. So, you know, just go out of your comfort zone and do these challenges. Okay, so let's get into it because I've already talked for like 5 minutes and y'all know how I am. I like to ramble all day. So this is a friendship flip book. So for my swap, the flip book, you have to have different components. So you have to have like a letter and some goodies and some die cuts and stuff like that. So you need to have the flip book to be either an envelope or a pocket or something to put all your stuff in. So this is what I came up with. It's a book in a box, if you will. That's what I'm calling it. How about that? I'm going to close mine with magnets. So if you're going to do yours like mine, let me show you first what it looks like and then I'll tell you what you need. Okay, so mine flips like that and I'm going to scroll out. So for those of you following me, you know that before I didn't know how to do that, so I'm so proud of myself. I learned how to scroll. Anyway, so mine opens, flips down. I have a flap that flips to the right and a flap that fits to the left. Okay, I added my pockets this way, so this is the only direction it can go in. If I didn't add the pockets, you can have your book in this direction if you want. So you open it, it flips that way, that one flips down, that one flips up. Or if you want to have them both flip down or they both flip up, whatever, it's your choice. But just make that choice before you put the pockets, because obviously once you put the pockets, it can only go whichever way you put pockets. And you don't have to have pockets. If you just want to have layouts, you can glue this inside of a mini album, and this is another interactive page. How fun would that be? You would just want to not do this part here, the 1/2 inch gusset, because it will be bulky in your book, but you know, do something along the lines. It's very simple. When I show you how to do this, you're going to be like, wait, what? That was it? So yeah. Pockets, I just took some scraps and added pockets. So I don't know how the other 4 are going to come out because this is the one that I made as my prototype and I'm not in love with it, so I will probably do mine a little bit different. Mine's still going to be this configuration because I just love the Z, but I don't know, I'm going to mat it differently. Probably do a different paper collection too because I like this one, but I don't know, it's not inspiring me. Okay, so let's get started, finally. What you're going to need is 1 sheet of 12 by 12 paper and, okay, sorry, I just found a 1/2 sheet of paper and I don't know where it goes to. Whatever. Okay, so 1 sheet of 12 by 12 paper. You're going to need some scrap paper. I'm using the black linen cardstock from Country Craft Creations. I love this cardstock because it's thick but not too thick, that it's hard to work with. Like the Michaels 110 weight is really hard to work with, but it's really super strong and I love it. But yeah, this is better because it's really easy to work with. Sorry, this cord's getting on my nerves. And you guys can actually see the shadow of my shepherd's hook right here. Yeah. Okay. So you need 1 sheet of 12 by 12. You're going to need scraps. So your scraps need to measure at least 6 inches long, which these ones do not. So I won't be using those scraps. I put my scraps into the cheap, these bags, they're called food and, I think, bread bags or something like that. I don't know. The ones that they're the gallon size, but they don't tie or zip or anything like that. So this is my scraps of my linen cardstock in here, and then my other black paper will be in a different one. So you just need to find a scrap that is 1 inch by 6 inch, and you're going to need 2 pieces. So this actually works out perfect because this is 2.5 by 6-ish. almost 6, that'll work. Don't have to be perfect. These are just going to be for your hinges. And you're going to need a sheet of paper that is 4.5 by 6. Okay. So I did mine on my Cameo and I just put this fancy edge on there. So if you have a Cameo, you can put this fancy edge. If you have your border punches, you can do a fancy edge. If you have those stainless steel die thingies, I don't know, border dies I think they're called or whatever. Or you can trace something off of Google and hand cut, whatever you want to do. That's your flap. Okay. So let's go ahead and get the small things prepared first, and then we'll work with the paper. So for this piece here, and I don't know why I'm pointing with my mirror tonight, I'm loving it, but so your page has 4.5 by 6. You want to score a 1/2 inch from the straight side and then add an inch. Okay, does that make sense? So you're going to put it in. What I did first was score it at an inch and then move it to a 1/2 inch and then score it at 1/2 inch because we're trying to get that top flat bit like that. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah, we're making this bit right here. Okay, so there's that. That's done. We're good with this. So if you don't have one of these dies or Cameo or whatever, use your border punches. We all have them, our Martha Stewart punches, and just punch one edge, or however you want to do it. Okay, because you're just making this part here. Oh, you're also going to need magnets if you want to do a magnet closure, or Velcro, or a belly band if you're going to do belly band closure. That particular one, I just chose magnets. I may or may not do magnets. I don't know. So now we're going to prepare our hinges. So you need 2 strips that are 1 inch by 6 inches. So my piece of paper is already 6 inches. So what I like to do with my hinges is I like to score it first and then cut it at 1 inch. But if you have 1 inch scraps, which a lot of us do, then just score it down the middle or fold it in half, however you want to do it. But for me, because it's a chunky page, it's easier to score it at a 1/2 and cut it at 1. Okay. So score it at a 1/2. And I'm trying to do better with like bigger scraps, because before I would save like the tiniest little scrap and my scrapbooks got too big, and you know, now I'm better. So if it's not at least 2.5 inches, I don't save it. Or 2 inches probably. Okay, so I scored it at a 1/2 and I'm cutting it at 1. See, like before, I would save this little piece, but I mean, yeah, you may use it for an accent piece on a card or something like that, but you know what? Put it in your recycle bin. I don't throw my scraps away, I put them in the recycle bin. So I have my own little recycle thing under my desk. So if you do need a little piece like that, then you still have it, but it's not cluttering up your scrap box. And once a week, I do purge and put mine in the recycle bin. My trash pickup days, my trash recycle day is Tuesday, so on Monday night I do put it in there because sometimes we just gotta let it go. Just let it go. Them little pieces. Okay, so you're just gonna fold them in half. I know there is a rhyme or reason to which side you're supposed to fold on, but I don't pay attention to that. I just fold it in half, right? Okay, so those are prepared. We're going to set those aside. Our flap is prepared, set that aside. Now we're going to come back into our 12 by 12 paper, and we are going to cut it directly in half. So you're going to cut it at 6. Okay. And I always like to measure 800 times and then cut once, because because y'all know I be cutting all wonky. Okay, so 6. Set that piece aside, and we're going to take this half and we're going to cut it at 6 again. So you have these 2 pieces at 6 by 6. Okay, 6 by 6. And you have 1 piece at 6 by 12. Okay, so the piece at 6 by 12, we're going to go ahead and score. We're going to score it at 5 3/4 by 6 1/4, or at 6 1/4. Okay, so you should have a 1/2 inch gusset in the middle of your page. You see it? So 5 3/4 and 6 1/4. Okay, that's all the cutting and scoring we're going to do. So now this piece, you can go ahead and prepare it and just fold it. You're going to mountain and mountain. We're going to make sure we varnish this really good. So it should look like it's off like that. And then pull the other piece and varnish. Okay. So ultimately you're having like this book shape, if you will. Okay. So it should be even. If you measured right, it should be even. If you didn't, trim it. Nobody's gonna know. Okay. So we're gonna pull our flap back in. And I'm just going to open that so you can see what the heck I'm doing. And this part you can use wet glue or score tape. I'm just going to use score tape because my art glitter glue is almost gone. You can see. I mean, I have the refill for it, but I'm just not using it. How about that? I bought my score tape when Amazon had it on sale, 5 for $20, and then you got another discount if you bought like $40 worth or something like that. So plenty of score tape. Okay. Excuse me. So what I did is I lined up the score tape with the this edge, not with the score line. I want it to be close to the edge. And the only reason why I'm doing that is because you never, when you're adding flaps to a page, you never want to go over the score line. And so if your score tape is far enough down, you won't go to that score line. Does that make sense? And I'm using the 3/8 inch of a score tape. That's just the one I'm preferring to use. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just attach this to the first score line only, like so. Okay, not all the way to the first score line, but about 1/8 of an inch below it. Maybe 1/16 of an inch, just below the score line. Y'all have me doing math over here. Okay, so I'm just going to use my pokey tool to take this off because I have gel polish on and it's hard to grasp anything. So you can do your score tape like this. Just peel a little piece off. Sorry, it's doing that, and then attach it and just like you would attach. This way's a lot harder for me, but for some people it's easier. So you would just attach that little piece, and then if you see here, you have this tail, and you just pull the tail out, and then it's all lined up. But for me, that's just harder. So I like to pull mine all off, and then hold my fingers like so in the middle, and then line up the 2 corners, and then just drop. But if you don't line it up, then you get a bubble. So however you can drop it. Okay. For some reason, my flap is too short. And score tape is forgiven if you go on the linen paper. If you go slow enough, you can peel it off without damaging too much of the paper. But for me, I just don't care. I just add more score tape and put it right back. See, I done tore it all up. But for some reason, this flap is a little bit too small, so I'm just going to redo that. So before you stick it down, make sure your flap fits. And I don't know why mine didn't. I don't know. But I'm not going to throw any of this away. I will just center it, and nobody will be the wiser. Right? So all I'm doing is reapplying my score tape. Now, with linen paper, you can probably do this one time, but 2 times it'll make it thin, and you don't want to do it that 2 times. Okay? You do not want to do it 2 times. I just got a lot of shadows with the black paper. It's really horrible with these shadows. Let me go this one. So mine is just off, so it's going to be about a 1/16 of an inch short on either side. I'm okay with that. I can live with that. I just got to place it where I will be happy with it. There we go. Okay, so now my book is basically complete, so it should look like this. Like so. So when you open the flaps, like that. You know what? I am loving it like that, so I think I'm going to do this one this way. Perhaps. I don't know. Like I said, I'll figure that out at the end. Okay, so this part is basically done. Now we need to bring in our 2 6x6 pieces. I'm gonna scroll out a little bit. And now we are going to do our flaps. Like that. So you need to take your hinges, so your your 1 inch by 6 piece hinges. What you're going to do is put your glue or your score tape for those of you using just glue, I'll do this one with just glue. So I just get nervous when I do glue on hinges because I feel like I'm going to go over the score line and then it's going to not fold and unfold. And now I'm not using my metal piece on my glitter glue because for some reason I don't like it. I loved it when I was at the retreat, but when I got home I didn't like using it. So guess what? I'm not. How about that? Okay, so again, just get it right up to the score line, not on the score line. So if you got it over the score line, you really need to wipe that excess glue off. And I bought this cheap face cloth at Walmart for 88 cents, and that's what I use to wipe my glue off. As you can see, it's pretty glued up and dingy, but okay, it works. Because you can use dry baby wipes or those lint-free towels you can get on Amazon. Which actually I have a whole pile at work, and my boss had asked me did I want to take them home because we don't use them at work anymore. So I might do that. But whatever. Use what you want. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and attach our hinges. If you're using score tape, I'm doing this one in score tape. So I'm just going to put the top back on this. And just on the inside. So right now it's like the Pac-Man mouth. Just on one of the insides. It doesn't matter which one. Put it score tape down. I got something on my score tape, so I just need to cut the piece off. Let me zoom in just a smidge bit. There we go. That's better. Okay, so I'm going to put it at the edge opposite of the score line. Just lay it down. I'm using the 3/8 of an inch score tape. You can use the 1/4, but I like 3/8 inch is my favorite one. Let me see. It might be my husband texting me from downstairs. No. Okay. All right. Pokey tool. I'm using the pokey tool from my, or this hook thingy from my Cameo, but you can get a ton of these at like a hardware store for, I think it's like $2 for like 10 of them or something. Somebody said they got theirs from a dentist thing. I don't know. I just can't pick it off because I have gel nail polish and it's too smooth. So there's that. Okay, so just add your hinge, however you can get it on there. Make sure you cover up any adhesive so that way you don't have any sticky in your book. There we go. Okay. So there's that, right? Now what we're going to do is bring our book back in. And this is where you need to decide where you want to put your flap. So you can have a flap here if you want. You can have it on this side. You can have it on the bottom. However you want your flaps, you need to decide that if you're going to have both of them come up. Well, yeah. I mean, just play with it and see what you like. I don't like that. So I'm doing mine in the Z formation. So I'm going to put my hinge top left and bottom right. That's how mine are going to go. So at this point, I know you're probably wondering, and you're like, well, wait a minute. This is not 6x6 anymore because you scored it. So you're right. I personally do not like to cut my paper down until I'm done with the base, so that way I know where to cut this, because if I mismeasured this piece may not be 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I don't want to cut this paper ahead of time and then it'd be too short, because you can always cut more, you just can't add it back, right? Make sense? So my page here is 5 3/4 by 6. So it's 6 this way, 5 3/4 this way. So when you're doing your flap, as you can see here, I need to trim that down. So I'm going to go ahead and trim it down to 5 3/4. This is my own personal preference. If you want to cut them down first and pray that you measured correctly, have at it. But I be doing stuff wonky, so you know. Okay, so just going to cut that off. Now I may need to trim more, but like I said, I prefer to take a little off and then remeasure and take off some more. So we don't want it touching this score line. We want it to be just under the score line. So I think 5 3/4 on mine. It looks like it works out. Yeah. So this is my bottom one. At this point, I'm going to write bottom on mine in pencil, just so I remember. You can glue it down or, you know, tape it down now, but I want to wait, so do what you want. Okay, top piece, mine are going top left. So again, we're going to measure the distance here, and mine is, I'm going to be shocked if it's 5 3/4 again, because I usually don't measure correctly. Yeah, buddy, it is 5 3/4. Ha! I'm so proud of myself. So we're going to go ahead and trim this down. Sorry that it was blurry. To 5 3/4. Okay, so I'm not even going to lie, but this is the 3rd time I've done the video, so I basically made all of mine. This is the last one. So I've made all 4 of mine for my swap. Here are the other ones. Because I keep messing up in the video and I keep forgetting to tell you guys stuff, or I measure wrong, and it's really confusing because I just started blabbing. So yeah, so this is my fourth one. Okay, so this is my top flap. Let me just make sure it lines up. So I'm just lining it up with this score line here and this score line here. So I don't want it touching either one of those score lines. So I may have to trim a hair off. I may have to. I don't know. Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay, no, that works out. Okay, so this is the top. Okay, so that's all we need with that. So now this part you can do one of two ways, and I honestly don't remember which way I did it on the original book. So let me just take a sneak peek, which I probably won't be able to see it because the hinges are completely covered. Okay, it looks like I did them two different ways. So at this point, this is my top piece. You can either put score tape on this side of the hinge here and put that in so it opens like this, or you can put the score tape here and put it on the back of the book and make it go like that. I don't think it matters. I'm going to do mine like this so that way I just have the same border. I don't know why I'm putting so much doll into this because it honestly does not matter because it's going to flip and flap either way. But I think I'm going to put mine on the inside. So I'm going to put the score tape here and glue it down here, only because I'm putting pockets on here and I don't want too much weight resting on this score line and then the book tear. I don't know if that's really a thing or if I just made that up, but it's making me feel better to put score tape on this side and put it in there. Okay, that's my madness, and yeah, I'm gonna own it. Okay, so here's your hinge, your flap. I'm closing it and putting it on the, I guess it would be the back of the hinge. Again, I am 100% sure it does not matter which way you do it. Just whichever way makes your crazy feel better. Okay, so same thing. I'm gonna close this and put it on the back there. Okay. That's all I'm doing. Okay. Make sure there's good adherence. Is that a word? Maybe. Okay. So, pokey tool. Peel off my backing. Again, you can use your glitter glue. You can use your whatever adhesive you like. I wouldn't use like ATG or anything like that. Use a red line tape, a score tape, or like a really good glue to make it strong. So mine, you see here, it's just closed, and I'm just going to line it up with the edge. Being careful not to go over this score line or this score line. So sorry if my head's in there, but I have horrible shadows. Okay, so okay. So see what I mean? Here's the hinge on the inside of the book. Again, it doesn't matter. I don't know why it don't matter. Okay, and then my next one, so this is my one, this is bottom. So that's my bottom. And I'm just going to peel the thing off. And I have a cup holder to the right of me on one of those IKEA cart things that we all got from like Costco's and Sam's. That's where I keep putting my tools. If not, I lose them all over my junky desk. Like here's my pencil that I lost earlier. So, okay, so I'm just gonna line this up this way, paying close attention to this score line because I don't want to go over it. I actually don't even want to go all the way up to it. I want to leave a little bit of space. Good. Down. So that's it, my friends. Super simple. So now mine flops, boom, boom, up and down. The pockets, I just, I don't even know what I did. Actually, I think I just used scraps for the pockets. Where's my scrap pack? Yeah, that's what I did. I used these. These were 2.5. So I cut them down to 2.5 by 5 3/4. And I scored the pocket. Here, let me just show you while I'm over here talking this. Because some of us are visual creatures, so let's do it. So, by 5 and, wait, what did I say, 5 3/4? Nope, good thing I double checked. So by 6. If your pocket, depending on, okay, so the measurement's going to change depending on which way you want your pockets, but if you want your pockets how my original book was, which is this, like this right here, then you need to do it by 6. So 2.5 by 6, right? Yeah. And then you're going to score at a 1/2 inch on 3 of the sides, so one long side and both small sides. 1/2 inch, flip it, 1/2 inch, and then all the way over to the other side, 1/2 inch. Now you can change these to 1/4 inch, whatever. You can make them this part smaller, but I don't like to fuss with 1/4 inch tape and blah, blah, blah. So I just do mine 1/2 inch. It's easier. I know it wastes more paper, but you know what? It's easier. Okay, so all I'm doing is folding this in. Actually, that's not going to work because I just cut off the pockets. So I think the pockets were 7 by 2.5. Yeah. Sorry, you guys got me doing math right now. So 7 by 2.5. So yeah. Okay, sorry if you were following along. My bad. So you actually want 7 by 2.5. 7 by 2.5, and then you're going to score at 1/2 inch on 3 of the sides, one long side and both short sides. Sorry, I forgot to give y'all that 1/2 inch. So 7 by 2.5. And then we're going to go ahead and fold up our sides. Okay. And we're going to miter our corners. So where you see them crossing this X, you're going to go right up to the where they meet and just chip it off. Same thing over here. And then this is your pocket. So you're going to put score tape on the 3 sides, and then you're just going to glue your pocket down. So yeah, 7 by 2.5, my bad. So that's what you're going to do if you want pockets. If you don't, then don't do it. Okay. All right, so I can't wait to see what you guys make from this, and thanks for watching. Thanks for bearing with me for 40 minutes. Can't wait to see. Have a great night.